Look, more evidence too on National Flag Day, no less, of the Albanese government's ambivalence towards our flag. It being National Flag Day, Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price went into the Parliament, into the Senate, with the flag around her shoulders. And why not?
Our flag reminds us that we're united by our common values. We're aspirational, egalitarian and compassionate. We believe in reward for hard work. We treasure individual freedom. We respect the rule of law. We want our nation to be defended. We have a sense of duty to those we love, to our families, to our communities and to our nation.
A proud Aboriginal Anglo-Celtic woman with a flag around her shoulders. We should be proud of that. But instead, it provoked uproar from the Greens, who said the national flag was a prop, even though Green senators typically enter the chamber wearing Palestinian flag earrings and Aboriginal flag garb and more.
And I do want to make the point that if it's okay for Senator Nampijinpa-Price to wrap herself in this flag, I would intend to wrap myself in a Palestinian flag and come into the chamber and exercise the same rights that Senator Nampijinpa-Price is currently exercising.
What an idiot. I mean, this all played out during the morning in the Senate, and by 2 o'clock, just before the start of question time, came this ruling from the Labor president.
If I recall correctly, and I will have this checked, a senator has been permitted to wear a garment bearing a replica of the Indigenous flag, partly on the basis that the Senate has ordered the display of that flag in the chamber. It may be that the same principle applies here. Until the Procedure Committee can discuss the matter, I endorse the direction of the Deputy President earlier today that senators should not wear any flags as a garment to avoid setting a precedent.
Well, she's an idiot too. She should look behind her chair. There is an Australian flag next to the Aboriginal flag she references in the chamber anyway. But what she's saying there in that ruling is that if it's okay to enter the Senate adorned in the Aboriginal flag, she still won't give licence, the same licence, to anyone wearing our national flag. Instead, she referred the question off to the Procedures Committee for a ruling as to whether it's even permissible to wear the Australian flag. Now, I kid you not. In the meantime, no flags are permitted. Well, hang on. Here's a picture of a flag patch on an army uniform. Does that mean now that military uniforms are banned in the Senate? If her warped logic stands, that'd certainly be the case. Poor old Di Lee, if she'd worn that magnificent dress she wore for a maiden speech in the House, if she wanted to wear that in the Senate, well, she'd be thrown out as well. But hang on. Not so much the keffiyeh or the Palestinian flag images or Aboriginal flags as earrings. They're all allowed. Honestly, you've got to question where this government's taking our country. On a day when it bans attire incorporating the Australian flag, when it fails to condemn a former Labor Premier in Dan Andrews in that fawning appearance at a communist Chinese military parade in Beijing, the Australian flag gets shown the door in our parliament. I mean, what hope have we got? A country ashamed of itself is hardly a country anymore, is it? Late this afternoon in the Senate, Pauline Hanson also had our national flag on proud display, and it kicked off another fight.
Of all days, it is our Australian Flag Day. Yeah. For 124 years, since 1901, that flag has been flying, and yet on this special day, it was actually denied by the Greens, who stood up and said it should not be worn. It is not a prop.
Senator Hanson, I remind you of the ruling the Deputy President arrived at today, which I have upheld, which is no flags to be worn in the chamber until the matter has been resolved by the Procedures Committee. So I'd ask you to take the flag off. I'm giving you a direction. I'm asking you to remove the flag.
The Australian national flag is the enduring symbol of our nation, representing our history, values and unity, never a prop. And of course, It calls on the Senate to affirm the right of Australian senators to proudly wear the Australian flag in the Senate chamber.
I don't know, it's hard not to feel shame after watching all of that.